My name's Megan and welcome back to my channel. Okay, before we start this video, I just want to give a little disclaimer. I am in no way throwing shade at this company. This is not their fault. And I'm no way totally trying to call someone out because I think this person was just having a bad day. But as always, anything you do and say will probably end up on the internet eventually, me included. So, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all a story about the worst customer service experience I have ever had. So back when I was 19 years old, I actually worked at Starbucks, and one thing that Starbucks is very big on is the fact that whenever a new drink comes out, they want you to try it so that way you can recommend it to others. So there was this drink called the Very Berry Hibiscus Refresher. Try saying that fast. I don't even know if they make it anymore, honestly, but when it came out, I was working at Starbucks and it was my actual favorite drink. And the way that we made it was with lemonade. Oh my god. It was just amazing. It was always so good and so simple, right? Well, here's the downfall of working at Starbucks is when you work at Starbucks, you then know how drinks are supposed to be made, right? So, and how they're supposed to taste. And I'm one of those people who when I taste something, I can then retaste it and I can tell if it's made the wrong way or made the right way. Now, just a little side note, I don't know if they still make them, but if they do and you order one and you get it and it's like an ombre effect, they didn't make it right. I'm just giving you a heads up. That's not made right. That's not how it's supposed to be made. It is supposed to be made in a shaker, shaken up so that everything's together. Okay. So back when I was 19 or so, I was one of those people who I like to just go random places. Well, at this time I had found the Starbucks. I was going to this area a lot, so I had found the Starbucks and I'd always go there. Well, at this point I wasn't really drinking coffee like I do now. I was drinking these really sweet drinks. So I would go to this this one, and every time I would order this drink, they would make it wrong. They would just pour it over ice, which is not okay. It's wrong, So then when you drink it, all you're tasting is lemonade, and then it's just bad. And if you're driving, it's hard to mix a drink and drive, and it's not a layered drink, and I know this. Well, usually I don't say anything. I do not like to be the person who calls someone out or starts an issue or causes a drama or anything. I'm not that person. I've never been that person. And that includes when I get something wrong. So this is probably the third or fourth time, I guess, now that I've gotten this drink made wrong. So let's back up to what happened in the drive-thru. So first, when I got to the drive-thru line, there was no other cars. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There was no other cars. I was the only person in the line. And I could see to where the window was, and there was no one there. So I was legit the only person in the drive-thru line. I get to the little window and I already know what I'm gonna order, so it's not gonna take me very long. And I sit there for about a minute and no one says anything. And I'm like, okay, maybe they can't sense me, or whatever. So I move up a little bit and I sit there for about 30 seconds more and nothing. Dead silence. So finally I'm like, okay, I need to say something. Hello? And nothing. Dead silence. And I'm like, what the heck? And I'm and I know some people would probably have left the drive-thru, but I really wanted this Very Berry Hibiscus Refresher. I was an addict to these things. So another minute goes by and a car pulls up behind me and I'm like, what the hell? And I say, hello, can I order my drink now, or is anyone there? And finally someone responds, and the person on the other end was like, hello? And I was like, hi, can I get a Very Berry Hibiscus Refresher? And she's like, okay. you know, I don't know if she actually rolled her eyes, but it sounded as if she rolled her eyes. And I was like, oh fuck, please don't be like this. And so I'm like, okay. She was like, is that all? And I was like, yeah, that's all. And she was, okay, no, I'll see you at the next window. No, it'll be blank 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 amount. Nothing. And I'm just like, oh god, she's in a bad mood, like this is gonna suck. So I'm like, okay. So I go up to the window, and about 2 minutes go by before she even opens the window, and she's standing there on her phone. I'm literally at the window to pay, and she's standing there with the little doors closed on her phone. What? Like, could you do your job? Thanks. And so of course I'm kind of like, that peeves me. I am one of those people, I'm not like offended if someone's on their phone, but if you're at a job and someone walks up to you, get off your phone and do your job, like immediately. You know, it's kind of like if you're talking to coworkers and someone walks up, you stop that conversation right there. And maybe that's just me, maybe that's just how I am, but I think that's just how it's supposed to be. So she opens the window and she goes, it'll be, I don't remember the amount, it's like $5 or something, so we'll just say $5.14. She goes, it'll be $5.14. And she says it with such an attitude, and I'm like, okay, Megan, calm down. So I'm like, okay, and I go to hand her my debit card. I hand her my debit card, and she snatches it. And I'm just like, oh fuck. I'm like, oh no. Please just keep your cool, Megan. And so she snatches it from me, and she shuts the doors, which they might have been automatic. I'm not too sure, but they shut. And she keeps my card for 2 minutes. So we're now at about 8 minutes that I've spent in the Starbucks drive-thru line. Yeah. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, now I'm kind of starting to get pissed that I've been in the drive-thru for so long, because I mean, 8 minutes, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I looked away for like a split second to change the radio station, and I heard the doors open, and then all of a sudden I feel my like debit card land in my lap. What? Oh my god. I was so upset. And at first I thought it was a bug. Like, I truly thought that a bug had flown in on my lap, because I have never had anybody do that. She literally threw the fucking debit card into my car. What? Oh god. And I was like, I looked down and I noticed and I realized what it is, and I'm like, did this chick just really throw the debit card into my car? What in the world? And so, like, of course now I'm upset. I'm like, oh please. But of course, by the time I'm gonna turn around and say like, what the heck's, what's your problem or anything, she's already shut the doors. And I'm like, oh, this bitch, this chick is gonna get it. So I'm like, okay, just get your drink and go, and I will never come back to this Starbucks ever again, because now this is just awful customer service at this point. So this is where the whole like drink being made wrong multiple times thing comes into play. So like I'm kind of like trying to like breathe. Well, then I hear the doors open and I look, and it's actually a different girl. It's not the same original girl that threw the freaking debit card into my car. It's a different girl. She hands me my drink, and I'm so upset. Like, I'm just like, okay, and I just take it and I put it and I roll my window up and I go to drive off. I like get into the parking lot and I parked because I wanted to try it really quick, and I pick it up and it's made wrong two things. One, it wasn't made with lemonade. It was made with water. So it was literally like just water at the bottom, and then like you could tell like they had put ice, put water, and then put the berry mix or whatever it's called, the berry juice on top of that, and then put berries on top. So it was like literally like pink, 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 light pink, white, or clear, I'm sorry, clear. And I'm like, what the hell? And then I'm like, okay, let me look at my receipt. Well, of course, since the chick threw the damn debit card in the car, I didn't get a receipt. And so I don't even have a receipt to prove that I ordered it with lemonade. And I'm like, oh, crap. Well, then I look on the side of the cup, and you know how Starbucks started doing the, like the stickers? Well, this was at the very peak of like when everyone started kind of getting on board with that. On the sticker, it says lemonade. Oh, I can't. So on top of, they didn't even make it the correct way. They also made it with water. Water. Lemonade is extra. I mean, like, ugh. And you know, like, I get it. Like, it's very annoying when people come in and like, oh, this was made wrong. But it doesn't annoy me. But my thing is you are paying $5 for a cup of coffee or a tea or whatever you're paying $5 for. It should be made right. Like, it should be made right. Like, that's just, how? So of course I am fuming already because I had the fucking debit card thrown at me. Their drink is wrong, and this isn't the first time. So I'm like, oh no. So instead of driving away like I probably should have, I get out of the car and I go inside. Now, again, like I said in the beginning, this is not Starbucks' fault, and I don't even think this location's fault. But this chick's, it's definitely her fault. So I walk inside, and I like go around the corner, and I'm nice. Like, I was pissed, but I'm a nice person. Like I said, I do not like having confrontation. So, oh God. I walk up to the counter, and who do you think is on the register? Oh my. Oh my. Who is on the register? It is the same chick who threw the debit card at me. Oh, I wanted to lose it. I wanted to lose my cool, but I didn't. And I calmly said, hey, I was just in the drive-thru and I got this drink and it wasn't made right. And she was like, she looked at the drink, rolled her eyes at me, looked back at the drink, and said, actually that's how it's made. Oh, why? Why? Oh, why? I cannot deal. Now, at this point, there's no one in here, thank the Lord, because I do not want to be this person. There's no one in the Starbucks, and the other worker who had handed me the drink isn't to be seen. So she's probably in the back somewhere hiding with her boss, I don't know. So I looked at her and I said, no, this is made wrong. This is not how this is supposed to be made. And she's like, she literally like stood there for about a minute and then looked at me and she goes, well, how would you know how it's made? I'm the one that works at Starbucks. Oh, honey. Okay. Oh my goodness. What? That is not what you say to someone. That's not. And you don't know. Oh, I can't deal. I cannot. So, of course, I'm just like, oh, I don't know what to say at first, because it's like, did she really just say that? Is she really going to argue the fact that this drink is made wrong? What? And I'm like, what? I was like, no, this is made wrong. And she's just still like, well, I don't think it is. And I'm just like, I was like, well, can you please remake it? And she goes, no, I'm not remaking that. And I was like, besides the fact that you made it wrong, it's also supposed to be made with lemonade that I paid extra for. And she goes, no, you didn't. And I was like, yes, I did. It's on the sticker. It was like, I paid extra for that stupid lemonade that I want in this drink. So besides the fact that you didn't put lemonade, you also didn't make it the proper way. So it already doesn't taste good. And she was like, okay. So I hand her the drink and she takes it and she like aggressively throws this drink into the sink, mind you. Like I literally think like it splattered everywhere. And then I hear her making it, right? Well, I'm like, please just let her do it the proper way. I just want to get my drink and leave. About 2 minutes go by, maybe 3, and she was like, here you go. And so I turn around and I go to pick up the drink, and I mean, and you can see it. As soon as you turn around, you can see like that it's not made right because it looks like an ombre effect, and that's not right. And I don't want to be that person, but I also, at this point, I am so not okay. And so I look at the drink and I look at her. Now, mind you, also, since there was no one in the store, if she had shaken it in the shaker, I would have heard her. I would have. It's not a quiet thing. You can't like softly do it, guys. Like it's a thing. So I look at her and I was like, can I see your manager, please? And she was like, why? And I was like, because I need to talk to them. And she goes, why? And she just keeps asking me why. And I'm like, can I please see your dang manager? And she was like, you don't have to get loud with me. And I was like, I'm trying to be very nice with you and you're not listening to me. Please get your manager so I can talk to them. And so the manager comes out and I tell him and I explain to him everything that's happened, and I explain to him that this isn't the first time I've gotten this drink made wrong, and that I understand that if you're busy that it's easier, but that it's you know, like that's not cool. And he looks at me and he looks at her and he goes, I don't remember what her name was. He tells her to go to the back, and she was like, ugh. She like sighs and puffs out and like storms, and so dramatic. And I'm like, whatever. So all that happens, and the manager looks at me and he goes, I'm very sorry, but this is how this drink is made. What? And at this point, I still haven't said I work at Starbucks, because I always hated that whenever I worked there and people would come in and be like, oh, well, I work at Starbucks, so I know how this works. Like, that's annoying. So I'm like, look, I know that's not how that's made. I work at Starbucks. I've worked at Starbucks for about a year now. I've tried this drink. I've made this drink. This is not okay. 1. 2, this is not how this drink is made. And 3, I would please just like a refund at this point. And he was like, oh, no, we'll make your drink again. And I'm like, and of course, like, I'm upset. So I'm like, I really don't want this drink now. So, and I don't. So I'm like, no, I just want a refund. I don't want this drink anymore. And I will never come back to this location, because I've had the literal worst customer service ever. And so he gives me the refund. I never went back to that Starbucks, although I did pick up one of their like comment cards and I gave him probably the worst review ever. And then maybe 6 months later, a friend of mine went to the Starbucks and she said that none of them worked there anymore. So, and now I'm here telling y'all the story. Never thought I'd tell that story. Yeah, so that's probably the worst customer service I've ever experienced, especially at Starbucks. Usually like everyone at Starbucks is like super nice, and yeah. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also hit that red subscribe button right down below, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.